As your Angular project inevitably grows, it's going to be hard to keep managing modules within the individual files, and eventually you're going to want to centralize some of the initialization that happens with your app. This is a pattern that we commonly use, and there are some advantages, maybe some disadvantages stylistically for what certain people think. We've got a top-level file with the name of our ng app, or the name of our project. In this case, we're not defining a specific ng app because we're just writing test. We use a global name, like dessert in this case, and then we section out each of our modules into a piece of that global hash. Each module is defined here, and then we actually also make a dependencies array right here. And this is actually really useful for starting up our test. Now if we take a look at our test right now, when we run the karma test, we're going to have a bunch of problems. And it's going to say that the hash isn't even defined. So let's kill this guy real quick. Take a look at what we need to do. In the karma conf, we want to first add that dessert.js file before the app loads, and this way all our modules are defined before we get to that point. Let's run our karma, start again. Okay, we have 34 failing. This is actually because the modules have changed and they're also not being loaded the same way. But let's just take a look at how we would do this in a standard test. Now we will need to do this for each spec. But right here we're loading all these modules manually. We're deciding what we need. In the case of testing something that runs in the context of an application, it's much easier to just do a module.apply. Just going to call the method, and then we add our dessert.dependencies. Now if we run this with just a ddescribe, which means only the spec is going to run, and this one should probably run fine. Looks like 17 are passing, so if we use that same approach then, we should be able to do that with all the others.